We're gonna need all of these. I spent over $100, tried 7 different kinds, and then fed my family spaghetti for multiple days, all so that I could find the perfect keto noodle. There's actually a lot of different types of keto noodles out there. From shirataki noodles, there's wheat-based ones, and even kelp noodles. I'm gonna put them all to the test, and I decided to appropriately judge the character of these noodles. I needed to make a couple of different sauces to go with them. So first we're gonna be making a keto spaghetti sauce because it's more Italian and tomato based, which is a common sauce that we use on noodles, along with the latest sensation on TikTok, which is Tik Tok Ramen. And this is more of a spicy, sweet, savory sauce. So let's make some sauces first so that we have something to pour on these noodles when we test them. First up is spaghetti sauce. I like to add ground beef to my spaghetti sauce, but you can use sausage or just go meat-free. Add in 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning, 2 cloves of minced garlic, and then for the sauce, I like to use jarred marinara sauce. And this is my favorite brand because it's the lowest in carbs. There is 4 grams of net carbs per half a cup. But you can use plain tomato sauce too. Then we just let it simmer, and the longer it simmers, the better it's gonna taste. Then I'm gonna add in a few extras that my old college roommate suggested, and that is 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and a 1/4 cup of grated parmesan cheese. And this seriously completes the sauce. Now let's put that aside and make our Tik Tok Ramen Sauce. Now with this, I'm actually gonna be making up a large batch because I am testing it against 7 different types of noodles. Normally you would just make like 1/8 of this amount, and I'll have those instructions down below in the description box for you. But to start, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of butter to a nonstick skillet, and we're gonna melt that down. Then add in 3 tablespoons of garlic, 2 teaspoons of red pepper. Now this sauce is spicy, so if you don't wanna use that much red pepper, then I would probably decrease it. And then we're gonna cook until it's fragrant. Next, add in 2 tablespoons of sugar-free brown sugar substitute, and I'll have my favorite listed down below in the description box for you. And then 3 tablespoons of everything bagel seasoning. Normally you would actually add your noodles at this step and mix it all together, but like I said, I'm just making up a batch of this to test against several different noodles, so I'm just making them separate. But before I add it to my noodles, I'm gonna give it a little taste. Oh, spicy. But wow, it's really good. And you can see why it went viral on TikTok. It's like sweet, savory, spicy. I can't wait to see how the noodles are gonna stand up against this sauce. Now let's move on to our noodles. First up is the old standard, the old G, the shirataki noodle. And there's a couple of different brands out there. Actually, there's multiple ones. The one that I'm used to using is by Miracle Noodle. There's also another brand that I found on Amazon. It's called It's Skinny. It's not quite the same, but they're both made out of konjac flour or powder, which is a root vegetable that is very high in fiber. This It's Skinny noodle just happens to have a little bit of oat fiber in it too, but it's the same principle. So it's just like the same main ingredient inside. They come in a couple of different shapes besides spaghetti. There's angel hair, fettuccine, there's rice, even ziti pasta, but these are all gluten-free. And I would say that the main complaint people give when it comes to the shirataki noodles is that they stink. And yeah, when you first open the package, yeah, it stinks. It doesn't smell good. But if you prepare these right, you'll get rid of that smell, and it doesn't have that flavor either. It's a neutral pasta that takes on any of the flavor of the dish that you're making. Another complaint is that these have like a rubbery texture, which is cool, and unfortunately, there's no way around that. To make these, you drain them first, and then we rinse it with water for several minutes. This helps to get rid of that smell. I'd show you this in the sink, but my dishes are all in the sink, and I don't want to show you that part. So this is just adding a little bit of water, but just keep in mind that you should really rinse these for several minutes to get rid of that smell. And then the final step is to add your drained noodles into a non-stick skillet with no oil inside and just let them cook. It's just going to cook off the rest of that moisture. Then we add in our sauce. So as you can see, these noodles are really kind of clear. They almost look like vermicelli noodles, like rice vermicelli, because they're very transparent. So they have the noodle shape, but like appearance-wise, they don't look like a regular spaghetti noodle. And like I said, they're still very, very rubbery. I really think for texture, they actually go better with the Tik Tok pasta sauce just because that is more of like an Asian-based sauce. The thing I love about these is that they're only 1 gram of net carb per serving, and actually some brands are 0 net carbs per serving. Now let's test a close cousin to the shirataki noodles, which is these noodles by Wonder Noodle, and these are made with yam fiber and oat fiber. These also come in different shapes and sizes, from spaghetti, fettuccine, and even ziti noodles. The one I'm using today, we're using fettuccine because I accidentally opened up that bag. Again, we have to drain these and rinse them in water for about a minute or so, but these we actually don't have to cook off any of the water. You can just add them straight to your sauce and heat it up. And I don't think there's much of a strange smell with these ones either. They kind of do remind me of tapeworms though, but they do have more of an appearance of a noodle. They have like the same coloring as a regular spaghetti noodle, but still very rubbery in texture. The thing I love about this is that there's 0 grams of carbs per serving with this pasta and only 1 gram of total carb because there's mostly fiber. And these were so easy to make too, and it looks a lot better than the shirataki noodles on my spaghetti sauce. I do prefer these noodles along with the spaghetti sauce over the shirataki noodles though. And once again, another great gluten-free option. Next, let's try my current favorite for keto noodles, which is the Hearts of Palm noodle. And there's a couple of different brands out there. I usually use this one by Natural Heavens, but there's also palmini noodles too. And these noodles are made from hearts of palm, which is from the inside of a palm tree or any sort of palm type tree, like a coconut tree, which is why they probably also smell like artichokes. Although artichokes aren't from palm. Is that a palm plant? The texture is a little bit better. It's not rubbery like the shirataki noodles or the Wonder Noodles, and they look like regular spaghetti too. They come in a wide range of shapes, from spaghetti, angel hair, there's fettuccine, and even lasagna sheets too. So for those of you who want to make keto lasagna, this is one way that you can do it. And they even have rice now. There's brown rice and white rice. They're easy to prepare, at least with the Natural Heaven brand. All you have to do is just open the package and add it straight to your sauce and heat everything up. The palmini noodles do require you to drain them first, and I believe rinse them before you use them. I feel like the sauce sticks to the noodles a little bit better too, which makes it more authentic. One more vegetable noodle I thought that we would try is kelp noodles. Kelp noodles, they're pretty low in carb. For half of a cup of these noodles, which is 1/3 of this package, there's only 2 grams of net carbs and 3 grams of total carbs. And you guessed it, they're made out of kelp. They're easy to prepare. You just rinse them and then soak them in water for around 10 minutes. They're very rubbery and wire, but I think that these would be really good in like a stir fry or salads or wrap. For the Tik Tok pasta, I feel like they actually hold on to that sauce a little bit better compared to the shirataki noodles. See, if you don't cut them to your desired length, you pull out a big glob like this and then you're forced to eat it. I can't do it. I'm not a fan of that. They're crunchy. Why are they crunchy? Dare I try the pasta sauce? No. That'd be a waste of good pasta sauce. Kelp noodles are a no for me, but I really think that they might be good if you cut them up into smaller chunks and put them in a stir fry, or maybe some spring rolls if you're trying to make some keto spring rolls. Now I'm gonna move on to some wheat-based keto pastas. Now obviously these aren't gluten-free, but not everybody on keto is gluten-free, so this could be an option for you. The most famous keto wheat-based pasta is from the Great Low Carb Bread Company, and they come in different shapes, from elbow, ziti, spaghetti, fettuccine. They even have an orzo pasta too, which I thought would be fun for a summer salad. They are higher in carbs. There's 7 grams of net carbs per 2-ounce serving, and they say that this entire bag is 14 ounces. So, I mean, it does make up a lot, but still, that's a lot of carbs. The preparation is just like normal noodles, where you just boil it in water until they're tender. But I love that how these look just like noodles, just like spaghetti noodles. They even curl like them too. And they're the closest things to a real noodle in terms of appearance and texture. I think both the marinara sauce and the Tik Tok pasta sauce really go good on these types of noodles. Now, another wheat-based pasta that you might not have heard of before are these noodles. These are actually low-carb ramen noodles. It's a pack of ramen, and it's by Imi. I'm gonna butcher that probably, but it's IMMI. And I thought I would include these since I am making the Tik Tok ramen, and these are ramen noodles. We had to do it. These cook up just like regular ramen noodles, where you boil them in a pot of water until they're softened. And when you guys make this up, make sure that you are using the seasoning packet and not the desiccant packet. Don't ask me how I know. Now with this, I am obviously just going to add my Tik Tok ramen sauce to it because it's ramen. I mean, you could put the spaghetti sauce on it as well, but really you need this Tik Tok ramen sauce. That is really good on these ramen noodles. I did find another hidden gem on Amazon that I hadn't seen before. This pasta is by Kaizen and it's made from lupin bean flour. So it's gluten-free as well. There's 3 grams of net carbs per serving, and this whole bag makes up 4 servings, and this makes up a lot of pasta. So it really fits in your macro as well. And I could only find them in this almost like a rigatoni ziti shape. It'd be cool if they had some spaghetti ones too, and maybe they do. I just on Amazon, it was only these ones. They do look like regular pasta. The thing is that they kind of smell like dog food, but they taste pretty good. Not that I like the taste of dog food. They cook up like regular pasta where you have to boil it in water. I did notice that it started having this like weird yellowy foam on top. They're also very crumbly too, so they don't keep their shape very well, especially if you were to mix it in and trying to make like a pasta salad. I feel like they just disintegrate in there. But they're really good with the spaghetti sauce. I think if I made a mac and cheese sauce, it'd be really good in this. My favorite, it's really hard to judge because I think there's a lot of great options here. But I think the one I'm going to lean towards is the Hearts of Palm noodle, mostly because it's so easy to use and it looks and tastes like a regular noodle. It does have that little earthy sort of artichoke underlying flavor, but once you mix it in with the sauce, you can't tell. I also really like that lupin bean flour pasta. I think that's really good too, and it went really well with the marinara sauce. For more of the Asian type of noodle, I think my favorite would be the shirataki noodle if you're going to be gluten-free. If you're not gluten-free and you don't care about that, you should definitely check out this ramen noodle company that is making low-carb ramen noodles. Let me know what your guys' favorite is and if I missed any. I know a lot of people are starting to make their own keto pasta noodles out of just really strange ingredients or like cheese and egg. I haven't tried those because honestly, they look like a lot of work, but let me know if I'm wrong.